Cricket is a game of skill, strategy, and moments of sheer brilliance. But sometimes it gives us stories that defy belief, moments of courage that transcend the sport itself. The year was 1984. The place, Headingley, Leeds, England, were already battered, trailing 2-0 against a West Indies side that had become the most feared force in world cricket. But amid the dominance, one moment stood out, a tale of sheer willpower and defiance. A fast bowler with a broken hand, a man who should have been ruled out, decided to fight through pain. With one hand he batted, with one hand he fielded, and then, with a fire in his eyes, he unleashed a spell of pure destruction. This is the story of Malcolm Marshall's 7 for 53, a performance that redefined courage in cricket. The West Indies team of the 1980s was not just great, it was unstoppable. Led by Clive Lloyd, they had built a dynasty that crushed teams with ruthless efficiency. The first 2 tests of the series were a complete demolition. First test, an innings and 180-run defeat for England. Second test, a 9-wicket victory for West Indies. By the time they arrived at Headingley for the third test, England were desperate to fight back. They batted first and posted a respectable 270. A solid effort against the most fearsome fast-bowling attack ever assembled. Then, just when it seemed England might have found a lifeline, fate struck Malcolm Marshall with a cruel blow. During West Indies' first innings, Chris Broad drove a ball straight back towards Marshall. In a reflex action, he attempted to stop it, but the ball crashed into his left thumb, shattering it in 2 places. The pain was instant. Medical scans confirmed the worst, a broken thumb. The verdict? No cricket for 10 days. England thought they had been given a lifeline. Surely Marshall, West Indies' spearhead, was done for the match. But what they didn't know was that Marshall was built different. By the third day, West Indies were 9 down for 290. Larry Gomes was stranded on 96 not out, just 4 runs away from his century. With no one left to bat, Gomes's dream seemed over. But then, to everyone's shock, Malcolm Marshall walked out. His left hand was wrapped in plaster. He couldn't hold the bat properly, but he wasn't there just for show. First ball, a wild swing and a miss. Second ball, crack! A thick edge flew past Gully and raced to the boundary. The crowd roared in disbelief. This wasn't just a brave act. It was a psychological dagger into England's confidence. Moments later, Larry Gomes reached his century thanks to Marshall's defiant stand. His job done, Marshall walked off, having made only 4 runs, but delivering an unshakable statement. But the real show was yet to begin. By all logic, Marshall should not have bowled. His bowling hand was fine, but every movement sent pain shooting through his broken thumb. Yet when England came out to bat, there he was, taking the new ball. And from the very first over, the carnage began. Chris Broad, the man whose shot had broken Marshall's thumb, was the first to go. Graham Fowler, fresh off a hard-fought 50, was caught and bowled by Marshall using just 1 good hand. Alan Lamb, the hero of the first innings, was trapped plumb LBW, completely undone by a delivery that jagged back viciously. By the end of the day, Marshall had already taken 3 wickets, but he was far from finished. When play resumed in the next day, Marshall turned his pain into pure destruction. Nick Cook nicked to slip, gone. Derek Pringle and Paul Allott had no answer to his swinging thunderbolts, both trapped in front. Finally, the last wicket, a searing in-swinger, taking an inside edge before settling into Jeff Dujon's gloves behind the stumps. England had collapsed to 159 all out. Malcolm Marshall's figures: 26 overs, 9 maidens, 7 wickets for 53 runs. West Indies needed just 128 to win, and their legendary opening duo, Greenidge and Haynes, made sure there were no surprises. Viv Richards finished the job, and with that, West Indies had taken an unbeatable 3-0 lead. But this match wasn't just about a West Indies victory. It was about Malcolm Marshall's indomitable spirit. His 7 for 53 remains one of the most heroic bowling spells in Test history. It was part of the infamous Blackwash, West Indies whitewashing England 5-0 in their own backyard. His one-handed batting and lethal spell became a symbol of West Indian resilience and dominance. Even today, no fast bowler has matched Marshall's intensity while playing with an injury this severe. Years later, Clive Lloyd would call it one of the greatest and most courageous acts I've ever seen on a cricket field. No fast bowler has ever done what he did that day. A broken hand didn't stop him. The pain didn't slow him down. It only made him stronger. This wasn't just a match. This was bravery. This was resilience. This was Malcolm Marshall. If you think Malcolm Marshall's 7 for 53 with a broken hand was one of the most legendary fast bowling performances ever, then smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes for this absolute masterclass. Now here's a challenge for you. Drop a comment below and tell me, who is the most fearsome fast bowler in cricket history? Marshall, Ambrose, Shoaib, someone else? We are replying to the best comments. And if you love cricket's greatest battles, don't just watch. Be part of the Legends of the Crease family. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell icon, and join us as we relive the most epic moments in cricket history. Until next time, keep watching, keep celebrating, and keep the legends alive. See you soon.